As a startup founder, is it important that you know your numbers? I think it is. I think it's very important, and it's no coincidence that those businesses, those entrepreneurs that are successful, have a good handle on the numbers. You'll see that they know how to read a P&L. Now, we're not saying you need to be an accountant, because accountant will go to college and university for a number of years to gain that qualification. But a good business owner, a successful one, will have some understanding. You know, you don't need to understand the complications of projections, or maybe a balance sheet is complicated to read and what that is really telling you. But a business owner should know the ins and outs of their business, you know, P&L. And unfortunately, I do meet quite a lot of founders who don't. They think, well, that's what I have an accountant for, that's what I have a financial controller or a bookkeeper or an FD in the business. But it's not enough. And what I'll explain why, you know, there's certain legal obligations that you should have a basic understanding as a company director, but also 5 key numbers that a business owner should be aware of. So, you know, why is it important from a legal perspective? Well, it's more than likely that you've set up a limited company to start your business. And as a limited company and a director, you've got legal obligations that you need to be trading solvent. Trading solvent is basically that you're not losing money and that you can afford to pay your creditors, you know, creditors being, you know, like a loan if you've got that, or any trade creditors or staff wages. So you need to understand if your business is making money or not. Ignorance is not an excuse. Trying to pass that responsibility off to someone else in the business or an accountant is not acceptable if there was problems in your business. So you do need to have a handle on the financial stability of your business. So that's a real important one. But then it goes without saying all the other things that I've said before, you know, in terms of just understanding, is your business profitable? Are you making money? There's no point no one wants to be in business and lose money. So it's key to understand, are you making money? Now, to help, I think there's five very key numbers that you could focus on in your business. Now, I can't go into the detail of each one here because it can become a long video, but if you wanted some help, you can find information on my website. I've done webinars on this topic and you can find them on the website, which is all the W's, rjf.uk.com. We've got a YouTube channel where there's some webinars that I've done on this topic, so you can find the detail. Plus you can also contact me at any time if you wanted to discuss these numbers and get a bit more insight into them. Contact details are on the website. But in short, the 5 numbers that I think you as a startup owner should fixate on are the cost of customer acquisition, the lifetime value of a customer, the sales length cycle, the sales conversion rate, and the burn rate. And I'll just repeat those. The customer cost of acquisition, the lifetime value of a customer, the sales length cycle, the sales conversion rate, and the burn rate. So briefly, what are these numbers? So the cost of customer acquisition is the cost of acquiring your customer. So how much does it cost to get a customer into your business? You need to know that because that can plan for your marketing budgets. It can also help you decide whether, the cost of acquiring that customer, are you charging enough to be able to cover that cost? If you're spending thousands on acquiring customers and your revenues are not enough to cover that, then you're not going to be in business for very long. So the cost of customer acquisition is an important figure to know. Lifetime value of a customer, well, that's just telling you how long, it's not how long, but the value of that customer in your business. So it's the lifeblood of any business because it helps you predict the future revenue. So if you don't know how long a customer is going to be with you for, then it's going to be very difficult to predict the revenues. But if you do know that lifetime value, it makes you be able to really predict those revenues a lot more accurate. So it's very good for forecasting lifetime value of customers. The sales cycle length, well, this is how long it takes from someone coming into your website or a lead or knocking on the door for your business. How long does it take for them to convert into sale, basically into cash? And that's very important because it helps you with your cash flow. You know, if you know that it's going to take X amount of days for an inquiry to a lead, then you can predict your cash flows accurately, or you know, pretty accurately. And you know how long. So but if it's taking you forever, then you know you need to do something to shorten that cycle, because you could be, and I'll come on to burn rate, you could be burning through overhead, and it takes so long for that lead to convert into a sale that you could run out of money by the time it's a sale. And the sales conversion rate, this is a percentage basically of people who come in as leads converted into sales. So how good are you converting those leads? That will help with your marketing spend. It will tell you how much you need to spend or how many leads you need in to convert a sale. So it will help with the, you know, in terms of conversion and getting sales in. It will tell you how good you are at converting those sales. And burn rate, this is super important. Burn rate refers to sort of how much money a month you are burning through. It's the fuel in the business. How much fuel have you got left in the business? And this all links in with all the other ones that I've said, because you know, if your sales cycle is long, if your cost of conversion is long, and all those other things that I've mentioned, you know, you could be burning through overhead, and you could burn through that fuel and run out of fuel, and basically your business could go bust. So burn rate is to understand how much money you burn through a month, or sort of how much money you've got till it runs out. So for example, say if you have 50,000 in the bank from a bank loan, and your burn rate is say £5,000 a month, you know, you're going to be out of cash in 10 months if you've got no income coming in. So knowing that can help you predict when you might need to borrow money or raise investment, or maybe improve those other financial numbers that I mentioned before. So hopefully you found that helpful. I think the message I want to get across, it is important, you know, in numbers. Don't fob it off to someone else. Don't think, oh, well, that's what I've got an accountant for. There's no coincidence, again, I'll repeat that, there's no coincidence that the businesses that are successful, the entrepreneurs that are successful, have a handle on their numbers.